Hello and welcome back. Ever since starting my weight loss journey, my Instagram has been filled with so many different videos of workout hacks or just like workouts you've never seen or heard of. Here and there over the years, I would randomly just try a couple and just see what I thought. But recently, I've been accidentally stacking up a ton of them in my save folder, so I figured this week we should go and just try them all out and see what works. We're gonna divide them into three different things since that's kind of how my normal workout goes. We'll do lower body, upper body, and then full body. Now, in order for these things to pass or be considered good from my eyes, is they're gonna have to follow these three requirements. First, and the most obvious, like, do I actually feel the benefit of the workout? Like, am I feeling it in the proper muscle group? Second, how easy is it to set up, or like how long is it going to take to do? Is it something that's very complicated, or can I just like do it? And finally, would I feel comfortable doing it if someone else was in the gym? You really shouldn't have to worry what other people are thinking about you doing in the gym, but sometimes there are just some moves that are a little bit like, I feel weird doing that. Let's hop right into it with lower body. Now, I will say for the lower body, they pretty much ended up being hamstring moves because that is where I feel like I am missing some moves for my current workout plan. And of course, the algorithm would know that. The first one we're gonna do is basically put your feet under the bar and then you're gonna put a band around you, and that is going to help you lift yourself back up to basically engage those hamstrings. Of course, I had to face my first issue right off the bat, and that is that my Smith machine doesn't go low enough to like hold my legs down. We'll just hope for the best. Maybe she just puts the bar there to be kind. Put me in. Okay, I'm in. Oh, I'm scared. See, but my feet are coming up, so it's not gonna work. It's literally not gonna work. Like, yeah, you just can't do it because this machine's not set up that way. Since that didn't work, I figured, okay, I'm just gonna try and put the actual barbell through the Smith machine because I still need to be able to reach the pull-up bar. And honestly, it was just so complicated to do. And I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try it because that was one of the requirements. Is it something easy and simple to do? To have to do every time during my leg day, like put the barbell through the actual Smith machine and then take it all back out, it would just be too overly complicated for me, but it is definitely something that I could actually see the benefit if it could be performed properly. Obviously right now I just don't have the right equipment for it, but if I did, I would definitely give this one a pass. But there is no worries, we do have a secondary option for our hamstrings, and that is using a band to do a hamstring curl. The setup for this was super easy to do. You just tie the band around whatever pole you have. I use the Smith machine, but there's other options in the gym, so it's definitely one that I wouldn't feel weird about doing if someone else was there, because I could just move to a piece of equipment that no one's using. But I really did not feel it in my hamstring. Now, I think it could have been I didn't use like a heavy enough band. Maybe that's the option. But for me, I'm not going to give it an entire pass just because I didn't feel it where I felt like I should have felt it. The last one we have for our hamstrings actually I think is the best one. After doing a couple of them, I did start to feel it in my hamstring, and it was definitely like challenging to make sure that your foot is clearing over this kettlebell. Also super easy and simple to set up. I definitely think it's something that I also wouldn't feel weird about if somebody was in the gym doing, so I'm gonna give this one a pass. Now for me, my Instagram is personally more interested in sending me a lot more upper body videos. So that is all we had for our lower body, but I do think if I had to choose one to add, I think I'd probably add that last hamstring one because I do think it would definitely be beneficial and it helps to like just balancing yourself. For upper body, my favorite had to be this archer pole. I don't think I've ever felt that muscle before in my arm. The only issue I really had with this one was getting the cable height right. For me, it was like I'm a weird in between where like the one that I was doing, I now feel like watching myself, like my arm was not proper. It was a little bit too low because of how the cable was. But then I felt like I had tried doing the higher one. I felt like that one felt weird. I do think if I had to try this again, which I probably will because I really liked it, I think I would try the higher one because I just think it would be a little bit better than having it be lower. Now we have a different variation here of a tricep push down. I already have one in my routine, but I wanted to try this one because honestly watching it, I just felt like, okay, this is gonna be like a good one. Like you're really gonna feel this in your triceps. And I did not. I did not feel it in my triceps. It was honestly just like very uncomfortable for me to try and do. Now maybe I had to do a few more than I did, but typically when I go to the gym, I'll bring my own V-bar grip with mine because I just don't love the one that my gym has. And then like the metal piece that was on it like touched my face, and I kind of just like mentally like freaked out a little bit because I felt like it was like super gross. And I do think it is kind of understandable to be kind of grossed out that that touched my face. Ew. For this one, I'm not giving it a pass because I did not feel it at all in my triceps, but I do feel like if I did feel it, like this one would have been like perfect. I have no clue what I was doing wrong. If you can figure it out by the footage of like what you thought maybe I was doing wrong. I was trying to keep my elbows in place, all of that, but I don't know. Let me know. After the cables, we decided to move on to the free weights, and we were going to really be focusing on our forearms here. This one that I'm doing here, I actually felt like really good with the twisting part, but it was the reverse curl that just kind of felt like goofy to me. I don't know. It felt like a little weird. Like if someone was in the gym, I would definitely feel a little silly doing it. Like, and I think it's because I feel like I look silly kind of doing it. It just was like unnatural to try to get my arm to do that. So because of that, I'm gonna give it like a half of a pass. I think if you just did like the twist parts, you would be okay, but like the reverse curl part was a little weird to me. Now these finger curls were actually kind of tricky to get the hang of. It was like a weird thing of like holding on to the weight but like letting it go just enough. And honestly, the whole time I was kind of just like freaked out that like I was gonna like accidentally let it go too much and then it was gonna slip and land on my feet, and that's kind of the last thing I need. That one I'm not gonna give it a pass on just because I think there's other options for your forearms that are a little bit better than trying to do that one. Now our last forearm move did not last long. Honestly, I think at this point I was just kind of like over it. It kind of felt like we were doing the same reverse curls last time, so I figured let's be done. But don't worry, we are far from done for now because we still have full body we have to do. Now I will say most of the full body moves are not really new moves, they're just more of like hacks slash like tips that are going to improve the current moves that I am doing. The first thing we have is a supported push-up. Now the way I typically do my push-ups right now is I'm using the Smith machine because I like that I can take the bar lower and lower and hopefully progress myself to getting the actual push-up. And I thought maybe this would be like, maybe this would progress me closer to getting the actual push-up.
Does she have it there? No, she going in. What are we doing? Maybe if I do like, hold on. If I do like these kind, let's try red. Oh, I can see the vision on that one. I just think, I feel like our bands are not used enough. Yeah, that's better. But it's, ooh, it's down. Okay. It's just not gonna work for me right now, but I see the vision of it. It's just not strong enough this one to pull me back. The other one's strong enough, but cut me.
I think if I could have gotten this to work, it would have passed all the requirements. I think eventually when I get closer to doing the push-up, it's something that I will definitely like revisit and try again. So I'm gonna give it a pass for the future, basically. Now we can't just put the band away just yet because we do have one more thing to try. All I want to be able to do is a pull-up, and honestly the closest I've gotten so far is doing a dead hang. So even though this one's for a pull-up, I was hoping maybe you could help me hold myself up there a little bit better. I know it's supposed to be replacing the band potentially snapping up between your legs, but I do feel like there was a chance that it was like going to slip and just smack me up the back of the head instead. I feel like this is kind of similar with the whole push-up thing, where like I do think in the future it's going to be something that's going to be good and very beneficial, but right now since I can't do a pull-up, it's not going to actually help me like with the dead hang aspect of it. One thing I've been doing is step ups in my full body, and I do them with the box up against the wall, and I'll just kind of like step up and then step back down, and it kind of freaks me out because I just like I don't love the sensation of like having to step backwards and like, you know, not seeing behind me. Like I just feel like I'm gonna fall because honestly just in general that wooden box like freaks me out, and it scares me that I'm just gonna fall and slam my face into it. And I ended up seeing this lady doing her own version of these like step up and overs, and these are a little bit closer to what they actually do in like a Spartan Deca, so I figured let's try this instead. Now I won't lie, when I started doing these I was honestly pretty nervous. I just felt like the way like when I was watching her, like I was gonna just step up and over and like cross my feet and then trip over myself. And even after a couple of them I still kind of just had like a little bit of nerves, and I think that was because I had the box kind of going long ways, so then I like rotated it so I would have more space to step my foot behind my other foot. And I think as you can see in the footage, I do appear to become like a little bit more comfortable with it over time. For me this is like 100% a pass. Like this is the way I'm gonna do them from now on, so I'm very happy I found this video out of all of them. Now there is no other way to end this video than me just doing some plain old nonsense.
Do I look like I'm doing? Like I can't, like my shoes are huge. Let me play her so I can see. Oh, she started playing the video, it scared me. She's coming all the way up to her knees. I know you're not trying to do that, but. I'm trying to come to my knees? Well, she does. Like that? Yeah. Okay. I think it'd be better to go for a chillax position here. What if you try to put a cross in between the bar? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like this. Like, hold on. I gotta be honest. My ring's not in my pocket. What if you just did your feet on the ground and then sit up without pulling you up? Like, you know, like have your feet flat on the ground and sit up like that. Okay, I'll get back down. because it's naturally going to pull you up. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, exhale. See, I mean, it's definitely hard on the way up too because you're trying not to let it take you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what she says. Sometimes you have. I think this one's not bad. I just hate the idea of having to bring a mat. If I wasn't skeeved out by using their mats, I'd probably do that. But if you lay on the bench, I mean, that's a lot. Maybe. I think that's not a bad idea. The bench. I think this is good for someone who can't get to a sit up yet. I think this could be very helpful. I do too. Besides, if you can't just do a sit up, how you were saying with pelvic pressure, definitely creates a lot less because you're having someone pull you up. But it's still hard because you have to not let it pull you up.
I will say with these, I was like not too sure about them. I walked out of the gym and I was just like, yeah, they didn't really do much. They didn't really do anything. Turns out, in fact, they did do something. I had done so many of them. I legitimately gave myself a stomach ache. Now, I know you're probably sitting here and you're thinking to yourself, there's no way that they gave you like a stomach ache. Like you probably just like ate something bad or you just had something. No, sadly, I wish I could say that is what happened, but I ate nothing out of the ordinary. There was like no reason that I should have had this, and it wasn't like a typical stomach ache. It was like such severe cramps and just like pains in my stomach, and I was like, I'm so baffled because it just came out of nowhere that I like had to Google it, and it did say you could basically crunch your way into a stomach ache. And because of that, it makes it really tricky to like give a proper rating on this move, because on one hand, I never want to experience that pain ever again. Like literally, I could not run the next day. I was in so much pain in my stomach. But on the other hand, oh, it clearly did something. Like clearly I was working those muscles. I definitely think I'm going to add this into my workout routine. I just think I'm going to do as many. I will say in the video, I don't show like the full amount that I did. Like I did a lot. Like I don't even think I showed half of the amount that I ended up doing. Overall though, I do think I have a couple of good moves to add into my routine going forward. Personally, I will always be down to try out some weird Instagram moves because that is how I made my first ever workout routine, was just trying to find things on social media. And at this point, I know a lot of them end up not working out, but within all the ones that don't work out, there's always one that ends up becoming like a huge staple in my routine. And I think I can see a few from this video that will be. I do hope you guys enjoyed watching me make a fool of myself while I did some of these moves, but that is all for this week. I will see you soon. Till then, roll the outro.